Year 9, today we're exploring what's called commission and piecework. Up there on the board you can see I've also got annual leave loading and bonus. We'll do those two in the next lesson because it takes a bit to get through these two. Commission is like a real estate agent, a salesman who sells cars or something. And what they'll do is they'll sell it for a certain price. They don't get all the money because they're usually selling it for somebody else, but they'll get a percentage of the sale price given to them for selling it. And that's how they make their money. The more they sell, the more money they get. Piecework is what you get paid for each item you make or a task completed. All right, if I was going to make, let's say I was going to make a pen. All right, so I've got my pen. For each pen I make, you might get 20 cents. Okay, but you only get it once you've made it and handed it over. Or it could be for a task completed, like a tradesman comes in, does a plumbing job, clearing the pipes or something like that. They'll get paid per item they complete. So these two is what we're going to focus on today. I've got 3 examples. They're quite involved. The key with these examples, Year 9, lots of writing. Okay, so I've got 3 questions. You'll see there's lots of writing, so we've got to find the information in this writing. It's very important that we read carefully. So, Amy, doesn't really matter what the name is. Amy sells cars. So she's a car salesman and is paid a weekly retainer of $320. So she's basically paid to turn up. But $320 is not enough to live off. To make enough to live off, she has to sell cars, so she gets 3.5% for every car, for the price of every car she sells. It says calculate her income if she sells $94,000 worth of cars this week. All right, there's our question. Hopefully you've copied that down now. Here's our maths. Question 1. So she gets paid $320. Let's just leave that to the side. 3.5% of $94,000. So let's work out her commission first. And her commission is 3.5%. So let's just write that as a fraction per 100 multiplied by 94,000. Then all we need is a calculator to work that out. So someone type that into their calculator. 3,290? Yeah. That sounds about right. Okay, it's not quite 100,000, so it's just slightly less than 3.5%, which would be 3,500. Okay, so that's her commission. But her weekly retainer must be also added in, so her income will be equal to the 320 plus the 3,290. So we just add those two numbers together, and again we can use a calculator. What do we get?
3,610.
So her weekly income is 3,610 if she sold $94,000 worth of cars that week. Will she sell $94,000 every week? No. So that might be a good week. She might make more some weeks, and other weeks she makes less, so she has to even that out. Question 2. Laura, real estate agent. She earns 2% on the first $100,000 of a property, then 1.5% on any value thereafter. That sounds much more confusing. Let's break it down. Calculate her commission for selling an apartment for more than $70,000. So, $670. Has she earned more than $100,000?
Yes.
Yes, she has. Good. So, let's go the first 100K. She earns 2% on that. So, let's work that out. 100,000 times 2%, or 2 over 100. What does that equal?
2,000.
Yep. So she automatically gets $2,000 straight away. Then she earns 1.5% on any value thereafter. That means anything more than the 100,000. How much more than 100,000 is this 670,000. Just take 100,000 away and we get?
570.
Absolutely. So the second, we'll just call it 100k plus is 670,000 minus 100,000, okay, times 1.5%. So we'll just put it as 1.5 over 100. The brackets are important. Type that in. What do we get?
520,000.
I hope we don't get 520,000. Because that would mean you end up with more money than what you sold the house for almost. Someone else might like to help by having your calculator out and having a go, year 9. So you should, if you want to make it easier, do 570,000 times 1.5 over 100. Yep.
655,000.
No. Too high.
Is it 8,000?
That sounds better. 8,000 what?
50?
How much?
500.
Okay, so we get 8,550. Any sense?
No.
No. Okay. So that seems reasonable. Have a look at it. 570,000. Got 2,000 there. 8,000. It's about 4 times as much. Great. So then, what is it? Her commission, in this case, is equal to 2,000 plus 8,550, which will be equal to 10,550. That's pretty good. Imagine if you could sell a house every week.
That's good money.
That is good money. Remember though, even though she gets that, she's had other costs as well. Okay, so she would have had to advertise. She's probably got an assistant or 2. She's got a car she's got to pay for. All those sorts of things add in. But it's still pretty good money. So that's question 2. Question 3. This one's a bit easier. Becky earns $425 for each garden she designs. How many gardens must she design to earn over $65,000? So if that's what she wants per year. How many gardens must she design in a year? I'm going to rub out this top one, so I've got room up here. I'll leave the second bit of working for you. This is question 3. This one's pretty straightforward. It's what's called piecework, $425 per garden. So all we need to do is 65,000 divided by 425. When you type that into a calculator, what do you get?
152.94.
Okay, 152.94. Can you design 0.94 of a garden?
No.
No, you can't. So, to actually earn her $65,000, Becky needs to design 153 gardens. All right? Be careful with that, because she doesn't get paid if she doesn't design it, and she won't earn the $65,000 if she only does 152. She needs to do 153 gardens. All right. Year 9, there's lots of words. The maths is not too hard, but what we need to do is get better at finding the information to do the maths. So we need to get in there and practice, practice, practice.